What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TV and Me. I'm of course Kevin, and it's time for another Walking Dead weekend. Surely this isn't going to be a foolproof plan. Something has to go wrong. Oh shit. Some of them are not biting. Not in that way. So far, so good.
You should stay back. Get a feel for how people feel now. We still got a long way to go with them.
We'll get there. She's in charge. You're in charge now.
Fucking Carol, man. She's working her own little master plan at the minute.
Try and take down 4 each?
No. This is just me and Heath. You get back and you stay back. If things go south, you tell Rick and you draw him away. Just move back.
Careful, careful.
It's Carol, right?
Yeah,
You been with Rick long?
since Atlanta.
And were you a cop too?
Why would you think that?
You're always watching. You always, you seem ready
For what?
to handle things.
Morgan sees
Thank you,
through the act.
Starting a damn walkout.
You want to have Daryl circle back?
No. Keep moving. I'll catch up.
Oh, dude.
Look at me. You didn't see Reg the night he got it? And Pete. His face just blowing up like Pompeii. Right when we were cheek to cheek. I still think I got some of his brains in my ear.
I hope that's just a dark sense of humour.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm just grabbing the bull by the nutsack. I'm living, darling. Just like you.
Hope Eugene's okay.
Carter, heads up.
Hey. Help us! You can do this. You need to. Morgan, go!
You said you don't take chances anymore.
He did say that. They need to learn, but I think there's better methods than chucking them in the deep end. Because people drown when you chuck them in the deep end.
How many more of us have to die before we do something?
You're talking about us going to Deanna and telling
No,
her.
I'm not talking about talking some more. About meetings. I'm not talking about that. Plain and simple, we kill him before he kills us.
I didn't.
I mean,
Carter?
I didn't...
He heard.
Carter, don't. You can't.
What the hell's going on?
You gone fucked up, dude.
What are you doing?
I'm taking this place back from you.
That's what you were talking about in here?
That's what he was talking about.
You know, if I happen to... You really think you're gonna take this community from us? Do you have any idea who you're talking to? What?
It was just me. Just kill me.
I'm good. I'm good. You can try to work with us. You can try to survive. Would you do that?
That's the first bit of mercy we've seen from Rick in a while. I mean, we've seen him hold off and wait for permission to kill Pete, like I say, but had he been beyond the walls, I think maybe he might have handled that situation differently.
It's working. You were right.
Everyone, we need to finish this.
Oh, something had to go wrong.
Tobin, they're breaking off. Get your stuff. You should stay with us. Over here.
Part of the family.
You were that man, Carter, in the armory. That's you. You still the same man I met in King County, the one that came back and told me it wasn't over. That was you. Same you that's right in front of me right now.
I wanted to kill him. So I wouldn't have to worry about how he could screw up. But what stupid thing he'd do next, because that's who he is. Just somebody who shouldn't be alive now. I realized I didn't have to do it. Somebody like that, they're gonna die no matter what.
And he did. He's gonna kill him.
Gotta be quiet.
It needed to be done. That's the second death Morgan's seen from him. He was gonna turn anyway, he was a walker. You cannot judge him for that kill.
Why don't you head back? Tell everyone what's happening, they should know.
Okay, Rick.
Will you do that for me?
Ron, tell me what happened.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. He shouldn't have been out there.
No, he shouldn't have. But you can't talk to him like that, Rick. You can't touch him. Not you.
Ron needed to hear every word I said. That's why I grabbed him. I wasn't angry. I was just telling him the truth.
If it's coming from you, he can't hear it. You gotta understand that.
When we make it to green, we fall back. The ditches and ridges will keep them on the road. We head home, let Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham take them the rest of the way. 20 miles more. All right, let's go.
So is their plan just to lead him down a road in a different direction? Oh shit.
Whatever that is, it's far. It sounds like it's coming from
Home.
there we have it, the season 6 premiere episode, and I enjoyed that episode. It was really good, and that whole episode was pretty much about the formation of the plan to get rid of the walkers out the quarry. And Jesus Christ, there were a lot of walkers there. I mean, throughout that episode, actually, I was trying to work out how they were planning to get, you know, kill all the walkers once they got them out of the quarry and led them to wherever they were leading them. But we found out at the end there, and they might have even mentioned it before and I completely missed it, which is possible with me. Sometimes, you know, I just don't listen. But it seemed as though their plan, and we found out at the end, like I say, it was to just march them away from Alexandria in the opposite direction and just get rid of them and, you know, and let them wander off to wherever they go. I mean, it's dangerous for whoever is in that direction, but, you know, Alexandria would be safe. And, you know, it seems like that would be the only plan, because I was thinking about it. How would you kill that many walkers? Like, you can't shoot them all. You just don't have enough ammunition. You can't stab them all because, you know, you just get overrun. I mean, you could try and blow them up, but if you blew them up, then you would need a hell of a lot of explosives. And to be honest, if you wanted to blow them up, they should have just left them in the quarry, and then they could blown them up in there. I mean, I suppose they could set them on fire when they were in the quarry, but again, how would you get the fire to catch? Because humans just don't catch a light, and most of their clothes and stuff had rotted away already. So I don't know. I guess that's the only option they had, was to lead them away, no matter, you know, if it affects someone else down the road. But I guess at that point it's not your concern. But yeah, it seems as though that plan was going to plan until there was a massive air horn sound, and apparently that's coming from Alexandria. So my worry is now, is that alarm going off because someone deliberately set it off in Alexandria? There's a traitor in there, and, you know, they heard of the plan and now they're just going to lure him there to destroy Alexandria? Or is the wolves taken over Alexandria while the entire group is away? Then again, it's also possible that the alarm has gone off by accident. But whatever it is, it's going to be a hell of an episode next one, because they have got, how many, like 10,000 walkers heading towards that camp, just ready to knock down those walls. I mean, walls are good against 100 or even 200, but against a whole army, a whole horde like that, with enough pressure and enough force, those walls are going to come down, and then I guess we're just going to have to say goodbye to Alexandria. Thinking about it, that's what we saw at the prison as well. You know, we saw walkers overrun the walls or the fences when Carl and Rick had to deal with that situation, and they, you know, they shot them down eventually. But how many walkers was that? It was only about maybe 50 to 100 walkers. Now, imagine that, what, 100 times over? Something like that, heading towards those walls at Alexandria. Now, the walls are stronger, but with that kind of force and exertion, like I say, those walls are going to come tumbling down, and I really don't want to see Alexandria fall. I mean, it's inevitable, like I've said in previous reviews, that it will fall, because I can't see him staying in Alexandria forever. But I feel like it's too soon still. I want to see the town thrive a bit. I mean, ultimately, I'm guessing the wolves will eventually arrive, if they haven't already, of course, and they're setting off the alarm at Alexandria. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of battle again, like we saw at the prison. It's making me think, actually, there are a lot of similarities between what's going down at Alexandria and the prison. But I guess that's just the way that world works. I mean, it's either going to be walkers or people that bring you down, or a combination of both. And it just so happens that it's happening again. But I hope they're able to get the walkers back on the path by some miracle. I doubt it, but, you know, I hope that happens. And if it doesn't, then there's going to be some kind of battle on their hands with Rick and the group to try and fend off those walkers from taking over those fences. And I just hope everybody gets out alive, because it's all happy at the minute. I mean, just apart from the plan going to shit, of course, but everything's been pretty happy, with Deanna falling in line behind Rick. You know, Rick's sort of in charge now. She's agreeing with everything he says. Things are going well, and I feel like the writers, not out of spite, but just to, you know, keep us viewers on the edge of our seat, would shake it up again, whether it's with the wolves or the walkers taking the place down. And I'm dreading that moment. I'm looking forward to it in a way, but I'm also dreading it, because inevitably there'll be deaths. But guess what happens. Moving away from that situation though, there's a couple of things I want to talk about apart from the main plot line, and that was Rick. There was that moment in this episode where he had the gun to the back of Carter. Is that his name? Carter? Something like that. He had his gun to the back of his head. And, you know, I said it in a reaction, but had Rick been beyond the wall, I feel like that would have been the end of that man. And for good reason, because he's conspiring, you know. There's every chance, like, in the future that he could conspire again. And there's sort of a juxtaposition going on at the moment where we've had situations in the past where Rick has left people and they've come back to haunt him and people have died, i.e. the governor. And because of those experiences, it feels like every time we come across someone that, you know, has mean intentions or has done something against Rick, there has to be a point where he has to kill him, because again, those experiences shape how we make our opinions. And in these Alexandria episodes with Glenn and Nicholas, I'm still going to call him that for now, and Carter and Rick, we're starting to see that maybe because they've got the safety of Alexandria now, they can change the way they think about these situations. They can change their mind. And in a way, we also saw in this episode how Glenn not killing Nicholas eventually came back to help Glenn, because he was in that situation where him and I can't remember his name, the other guy that was with Glenn, they were fighting off those walkers and they got overrun a little bit, and Nicholas came in and saved Glenn in that brief moment. And had someone else been there, maybe they wouldn't have saved Glenn and maybe Glenn would have got bit. And my thought is, maybe the writers of the show are showing us these examples of people who previously stabbed you in the back coming back to actually do good, in order to show a contrast between the world inside Alexandria and the world outside the walls. And that, you know, maybe now they're in Alexandria, it's okay to, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt. Because previously, outside the wall, you get one chance and that's it. But I think it's the writers sort of trying to give us that impression that, you know, they're in a civilized place again. Their whole thought train has to change in order to adapt to Alexandria. And Rick is obviously having problems with that, with good reason. Because, like I say, all the examples we've had before with, you know, the termites and the governor. And it's going to take a lot for Rick to change that thought pattern. But I think eventually he's going to have to go back to the old way of thinking. And was it right for him to let Carter go? Yes, 100% it was. The situation wasn't as bad as he thought. And we saw there Carter shake his hand, you know. He realised Rick was in the right. You just have to make a distinction between people who are misinformed and make stupid decisions, i.e. Carter, and people who have bad intentions, like the governor and the termites. I mean, it may not be easy at times and you're bound to make mistakes along the way. We all do, we're human. But I think it is important that you try and discern between those two types of people, the misinformed and the evil. And, you know, sometimes it might not be easy to make that observation, but you have to try your best. And I think Rick is trying that now. He's starting to settle in Alexandria. One other thing I want to make sure I mention is Morgan. And he seems to be becoming more and more skeptical of Rick as the episode went on. I mean, when he first saw Rick, he killed Pete, which in my opinion was a clean kill. I mean, you may differ in opinion from me, but I feel like that was a clean kill. It needed to be done. I mean, he could have exiled him, but he would have died anyway, in my opinion. And also this Carter guy. That was a clean kill too. And it sort of worried me that Morgan looked at Rick in a certain way, like he disapproved, when in that situation, when you're trying to stick to this plan which is going to save lives if they can get the walkers away, and plus Carter had already been bitten, I feel like that was the right decision to shut him up. He had to kill him because he wasn't going to stop screaming, and even if he knocked him out, Carter is still going to turn. He's in for a long, long death, you know. And if that was me in that situation, I was Carter, I'd want to die too, because I would not want to go through the slow process of turning. And the way Morgan looked at Rick sort of worries me, like I say. I hope that he sees that Rick is doing these things, these kills, much like Carol did actually with Lizzie. Even though it doesn't seem like the right thing if you're an outsider looking in, when you know the circumstances, you know what she's saving, you know the trouble she's saving further down the road, or he's saving further down the road, the kill is worth it. And I hope Morgan doesn't go too extreme in terms of thinking life is precious. Life is precious, it really is, especially in this Walking Dead world where a lot of people have been taken out. You know, population is down, and humans have to fight to survive. Living is important, human life is important, but you've, like I said about the distinction between inside Alexandria and outside Alexandria, you've got to be able to distinguish between when it's right to kill and when it's wrong to kill. And I just hope Morgan doesn't take it too far on the other side, like Rick sometimes maybe comes across as taking it too far on that side, where he, you know, he kills people that probably didn't need killing, like Bob 2.0, which I still think maybe he didn't need killing, but of course some of you disagree with me, which I don't blame you for. But like I say, I don't want to see Morgan be the opposite end of that, where he's saving people that shouldn't be saved. And I feel like there's two ways it could go with those two: enemies or best friends. I feel like it's that sort of situation with Morgan and Rick. Morgan's either going to go against everything Rick does, you know, and hate him for it, or he's going to come together with him and say, look, I'm your yin, I'm your yang to your yin, if that makes sense. That probably doesn't make sense, but I'm sure you get what I mean. He's going to keep Rick balanced. When Rick says he wants to do this, he's always going to bring counter arguments to that and maybe, you know, bring them closer together. But I can see it going either way: worst enemies or best friends. But that is about it. I'm going to leave it there because it is so hot tonight. I mean, we're in the midst of a heat wave in England, and I keep telling people that and I keep repeating myself, but you know, I've got to let you know I'm suffering, especially in this room, because I've got monitors on, I've got a PC on, it's just kicking out so much heat, and I need to get out of this room. So if I have missed anything, remember you can put it in the comment section below and I'll reply to you, and if I remember to talk about stuff, I'll even talk about it in the next recap. So until the next episode, guys and girls, thank you for watching as always. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go get some water and a cold shower. And until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for watching The Walking Dead Weekend with me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up because it helps me and it helps the channel grow. Also, if you've got any thoughts or theories about the episode, remember you can leave them in the comment section below. But please, no spoilers. If you'd like to support me even more than you do now, you can find me on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month you can take part in Patreon polls or even get early access to my videos. And finally, if you want to keep up to date with the channel, you can find me on Twitter at TVandMeReacts, or you can subscribe.